Hey, what's up, guys? Your driver Mike here. Back with another live stream. We are back for another live stream, guys. The first time we are back broadcasting live, not from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, as you may know, but sunny and beautiful San Diego, California. Welcome to this Saturday live stream. So it's 10 a.m. Pacific time. It is what, 1 p.m. Eastern for your East Coast viewers. Want to welcome you to a live stream, guys. Here, let's take our welcome screen off here. Let me know where you're joining from. It's been a while, huh, guys? All right, let's get this situated there. Welcome, welcome. How's it going? If you're new to the channel, my name is Mike. Again, I want to welcome you. This channel is dedicated to the rideshare space. So if you're a driver, if you're a passenger, if you're someone that just happens to be interested in the rideshare space, consider subscribing and consider joining us every Saturday, as we always do a live stream every week here. And guys, we're ironing out the time for San Diego live streams. You knew we were doing live streams, I think 10:30, around there. See, it's been so long, guys. It's been that long. But we're considering 10 a.m. Pacific. So that works for everybody. I think that's what we're going to do going forward. Again, as always, we have at least an hour. Now remember, we're doing 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Now I'm thinking 10 a.m. Pacific time. And guys, we have at least an hour for you to answer your questions, to talk about. The title of today's live stream is Uber 2.0. There's so much going on, guys, that it is a whole new chapter of Uber. Driver improvements, app improvements, executive board improvements, new CEO, obviously. So I invite you to join every week here. Hey, Good Boog Enterprises, hello from Texas. We drove through Texas a little bit, if you guys remember that cross-country live stream, guys. We moved, my beautiful girlfriend, Mackenzie, and I, we moved from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, my hometown, to right here, guys, San Diego, California. And yeah, Good Boog, we went through Texas briefly. We had a little Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico run there. And hey, guys, by the way, we have a playlist titled Moving Across America if you're interested in driving along with me across that United States trip, guys. We did a whole live stream every day for that trip. If you're interested in watching, check it out. So guys, we have a lot to talk about today. Again, it's Uber 2.0. We have a new CEO. What does this mean for drivers? Okay, do we know who this new CEO is? Do we trust him? Do we think that driver improvements are really going to be significant with this new CEO? And I want to hear your thoughts, guys. So check out the itinerary below. As you can see, it's all about Uber 2.0. Does this mean earnings 2.0? Which I thought is kind of interesting. We'll talk about what that means. Q&A, which is slipping off the screen here. And as always, guys, if you would like, super chats are highly appreciated. So let's get right into it, guys. Again, let me know where you're joining from. I'm really curious. And obviously, we have a new setup here. So I'm kind of figuring out where the best kind of setup is here in the new apartment. So we need to play around with the lighting as well. The lighting's pretty decent right now, I think. It's decent. It's decent. Hey, Julio. Yay, my hometown. That is awesome. Yeah, wherever you guys are joining from, let me know because it's interesting. I like seeing when you guys are watching from. We have a lot of U.S. viewers and we have some international viewers as well. So today, hey, I always update you on what we got today. Today we got, you guys may think this is interesting. We got. I don't even know how to say this correctly. We have this. I'm not even going to say the name because I know I'm going to butcher it. You know, we typically have the energy drinks. In Pittsburgh, we would have Starbucks most mornings. We got another coffee drink today, guys. Just woke up a little bit ago. All right, guys. I think we're going to jump right in here. Hey, Ruby, thanks for joining. All you guys, thanks for joining. Rudy says, I'm from Denver. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. So, guys, All right, let's talk about this, guys. Let me show you something here. This is what we're talking about today. Make sure this goes over cleanly for you guys. Here we go. This is what we're talking about today. Live on the Your Driver Mike channel, we're talking about Uber 2.0. If you're not familiar with Uber as a company, since Uber's inception, really it's been headed by former CEO Travis Kalanick. And as the company scaled, as the company entered new markets, they did so with kind of a bull rush method, okay, ignoring local laws, there we go, ignoring local laws and kind of just, again, bumping their way into markets before any kind of regulation, before any kind of city agreement. Typically, I'm not going to speak, for every single market, but usually it would be kind of like a bull rush forced method, okay? I can cite Pittsburgh, right? Pittsburgh, PA, which is where we came from. Uber entered the market before the city of Pittsburgh had any kind of permit and allowed them to operate. Uber operated illegally in Pittsburgh for, I think, 6 months, at least 6 months, and got fined by the Pittsburgh Utilities Commission, the PUC. And I can't remember the figure now, but they tried to fine Uber a very, very significant amount of money, which was later rescinded, or at least reduced. And that's the way Uber operated, okay? Because they would build up demand. There was so much demand for Uber's service, right? Everyone got so used to using Uber that whenever cities would threaten to take them away, Uber would reach out to their passenger base and say, hey guys, this is what your local, your city's trying to do. It's going to remove the Uber service. And they had a strong enough passenger base that everyone, would side with Uber, and then that's how they would have staying power in the city. So as we can see here, who is this gentleman on the front of our title screen here? This is not Travis Kalanick. This is your new Uber CEO. This is Dara Khosrowshahi. Okay, the new Uber CEO that just started, actually, he had his first day this past Tuesday. His first day officially in office as Uber CEO was Tuesday the 5th, one day after my birthday, by the way, guys. And he started, so now he is officially on the record as Uber's CEO. So let's talk about this. And let's talk about who is Dara. Okay, he is 48 years of age. This image here is from Uber board member Ariana Huffington, taken on August 30th with the first all-staff meeting at Uber. And you can see here the gentleman to his left, well, to our left, his right, is Travis Kalanick, the former CEO of Uber. And Mr. Kalanick, okay, many drivers refer to as simply Travis, spearheaded Uber. I mean, for 5 to 6 years maybe, since its inception. And Uber is now obviously, a global company. They have the staying power in most every large and medium market in the entire country. Hey, Good Boog, thanks for joining again. Good Boog says, you're drinking coffee, but I'm ready for a beer, LOL. It's too early here, guys. 10 a.m. Sounds good, though, guys. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. So, Uber just has a staying power, and it's because of, excuse me, it's because of Travis Kalanick. But with the recent controversies, I mean, we're not even talking market controversies. And that was 4 years ago, with Uber's, controversial entry into markets. Since then, there's been countless controversies at Uber, okay? Recently, the sexual misconduct allegations from a former employee, Susan Fowler, came to light in a blog post. We have unequal pay between men and women working at Uber. We have upfront pricing, which would quote passengers a certain price, charge drivers less, well, give drivers less, and Uber would take the difference. And to my knowledge, that is still going on. This and more at Uber, guys. Uber's Hell mode, where they would track Lyft drivers, where they would track drivers who drove for both Uber and Lyft. They would track these drivers, and they would know, most likely, when they would be driving on Lyft, so they could target specifically incentives to those drivers to pull them back to Uber. Uber's controversial recruiting methods for drivers. When they first started, they would request Lyft rides and try to convert them to the Uber platform. This and more, guys. I know there's a lot, and there's more. So, Dara Khosrowshahi, age 48. You can see there pictured with former CEO Travis Kalanick. He is the former CEO at Expedia, where he was there as the CEO for 12 years. Born in Iran, moved to the US at age 9, and grew up in New York State. And he has an engineering degree at Brown University. Sleeping Elephant, hey, thanks for joining. Sleeping Elephant says that Dara was on the New York Times board equals fake news. Dara just resigned from the board. Thanks for adding that. Thanks for contributing, Sleeping Elephant. And what Sleeping Elephant is kind of alluding to is not many people know about Mr. Khosrowshahi. And he really wasn't one of the top picks. And from my understanding, he was number 3. Okay. And let me take this off here real quick. Let's catch up with you guys. Yeah, Mr. Khosrowshahi was number 3 in their actual picks for who they were going to extend offers to. And we had the CEO at GE, and we had some executives at Disney. But Mr. Khosrowshahi was in Seattle. Expedia was based in Seattle, and he kind of avoided the tech bubble of Silicon Valley, well, just north of us a little bit. So it allowed him to fly under the radar, okay? And again, like Sleeping Elephant kind of alludes to, most were wondering, all right, who is this person? Okay, and I'm sure a lot of us aren't familiar with Mr. Khosrowshahi, so I want to let you guys have a little bit of insight here. So, at that meeting, here's a quote. And this is really interesting. Let's talk about this. That kind of frames some of Mr. Khosrowshahi's personality, maybe, leadership style, maybe. He said, in that all-staff meeting with board members and, maybe awkwardly, former CEO Travis Kalanick, Mr. Khosrowshahi says, I will not BS you. He also said, I am a fighter. I'm all in. I will fight with every bone in my body, among other things. Okay, I've heard that audio. If you guys want to hear that audio from that all-team meeting, I can post it up on the channel. If you'd like, let me know in the comments section. What do you guys think? This is a direct quote during that meeting, talking to all staff at Uber home office, that is, saying, I will not BS you. I'm all in. I will fight with every bone in my body. What do you think, guys? What are your first initial impressions of Uber's new CEO? Did you hear this audio from this team meeting? What did you think of it? Did you believe it? And for those of you who didn't hear it, we'll talk a little bit more about it to give you guys some insight as well. What do you think? Hey, Miss or M. Silverhammer, thank you for joining. M. Silverhammer says, in the middle of Hurricane Irma, all Uber services for all of South Florida, with the remainder of Uber Florida to be shut down soon. They continue, Uber remains stubbornly silent and refuses to raise driver rates or to provide temporary fuel surcharges despite skyrocketing fuel prices. Thanks for joining and for contributing. A few things there. Hey guys, if you are in Florida, if you're in South Florida, please stay safe. I have friends in the Florida state area. I want to make sure everyone is safe, guys. If you're in Florida, again, if you're in the path of Hurricane Irma, please stay safe. If you can get to safe places, if you can stay with relatives, that is first and foremost. M. Silverhammer says that they are going to be shutting down all of Uber's services in South Florida from what I'm reading here. Obviously, safety is paramount, guys. M. Silverhammer also says, Uber remains stubbornly silent. I'm wondering if that's locally, regarding the hurricane situation, or if we're talking more wide level at that point. They state that they refuse to raise rates. We're going to talk about that. Yeah, we're going to talk about what this means, guys. M. Silverhammer, drivers in Florida are waiting hours in line to get fuel, and most gas stations are out of gas. Guys, again, please do whatever you can in that South Florida and Florida area. Uber is shut down now, they state. Guys, please stay safe down there. Good Boog Enterprises. I read up on Dara, and personally, I think he is a good choice as CEO. I just hope he doesn't ignore the concerns of drivers. Hey guys, let's catch up with you right now. Some really good input. And guys, feel free to share your input on the live stream. The live chat that we have right here, this is going to remain for any of the viewers on the rebroadcast. So please comment right here, as your comments will remain visible for anyone watching this on the rebroadcast. And that's very important because that shows some context about what we're talking about, shows the back and forth, the dialogue. And I always encourage open dialogue on this channel to make sure we get all opinions. And guys, we just learned something right here. We learned about Uber, how Uber is responding in the South Florida market in wake of Hurricane Irma. So please comment below. Sleeping Elephant comments, I heard the audio. I think he is a good pick. I still don't trust Uber. Sniveling Travis is always going to be up to his tricks. M. Silverhammer, Uber profit the same, driver fuel costs soaring plus lost time trying to find fuel. Yeah, we're talking about the rates, guys. We're going to talk about that today. And rising gas prices, that's a good thing to mention. Hey, Crypto Kyle, thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Hi, Mike. I'm moving to a new city and want to do Uber Eats with a bicycle. I'm 13. Is this a good idea? I think you may be too young. I haven't read into Uber Eats terms of service specifically. I did not do Uber Eats in Pittsburgh. It was somewhat new. Whenever I was in Pittsburgh, they've only been in Pittsburgh for a couple months now. But on the Uber platform, guys, if you're considering being an Uber driver or Lyft for that matter, you have to be 21. Okay, from my last understanding, and we have an old video about what to do to sign up with Uber, is you have to be 21 and have some driving experience, or there's other considerations if you don't have driving experience. But Crypto Kyle, I think 13's probably too young. Don't quote me on that. But I'd have to go over their terms of service, okay? Because you are an independent contractor. And when you do Uber Eats, you have to sign up for the Uber platform as well. There's no separate, delivery driver app for Uber Eats. It's all under just Uber in general. So I'm thinking that it's going to be at least 18. But again, it's 21 to drive on the Uber platform. Hey, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. So guys, let's go back to it. What do you think? What do you think about this? This was from Uber CEO, current CEO, new CEO, Dara. I will not BS you, talking to the entire staff in the San Francisco home office at Uber. I'm a fighter. I'm all in. I will fight with every bone in my body. And some of you guys have commented that you've heard this audio, and both of you guys have said that you think he's a good pick. And I think I will provide my input now that I kind of agree with you guys. I kind of agree with you, and here's why: is Mr. Khosrowshahi increased revenues at Expedia from 2005 to 2016, from about, I'm just trying to remember off the top of my head, guys. I think it was around 2 billion to maybe 15. And I'm sorry, I should not be misquoting this. I should know that. But I'll have to see if I can find those numbers. But point being is that he ramped up their revenues since he started at Expedia. And one of the things that I think Mr. Khosrowshahi can do, at least on the business side of Uber, is take them in the right direction. Take Uber in the right business direction. Because as we know, Uber surprisingly has been running a very thin line margins-wise. Okay, many people will think, well, Uber is so popular that they have to be super successful and super profitable. That's not really the case right now. Now, I don't think that's especially, Travis Kalanick's fault. There's probably a lot more that goes into that with their executive board, because the board and Travis Kalanick are going to approve expenditures. Plus, there's the upstart of Uber. In the first 3 years of Uber were all upstart. It's heavy cash investment. It's funding from VCs and angel investors. There's not going to be profit there. Amazon did the same thing. They were heavy in the red. There was no profit. Move this camera up for a little bit. So, Uber showing a loss is not a surprise to me, because that's, traditional kind of upstart swing of things. But now that we're starting to get into profitability, Uber's revenues are obviously, exponentially growing. I think Mr. Khosrowshahi can continue and grow that momentum and really ensure that they're going to be in the black, that they're going to get profit out of the company. But, like we're going to talk about in this live stream, is it going to be at the expense of drivers? That's interesting. We're going to talk about that, guys. Hey, Crypto Kyle, where can I find the terms of service? Thanks for your response. You're going to have to go onto your local Uber website. Just type in Uber, and then you didn't mention your city. So for me, it'd be like, type in Uber San Diego, Uber Pittsburgh, Uber Miami. And for all major cities, they'll have a specific page for that city, and they have some more information in there. Typically a drive tab. There's a ride tab and there's a drive tab. If you click on the drive tab and you scroll down, there should be some frequently asked questions, and there should be different sections, and there should be a section for Uber Eats, and you should be able to find some terms of service or some FAQs in there. At the very least, there should be an FAQ about age requirements, I would believe. So, guys, let's move on. Hey, guys, we're talking about Uber 2.0 today. And real quick, guys, if you're new to this channel, like we mentioned in the beginning, we are dedicated to the rideshare space. If you're a driver, a passenger, or someone just interested in the rideshare space, consider subscribing. And thanks for joining, guys. Our itinerary is below. Consider leaving a super chat if you'd like, and commenting as well. All right, guys. Let's go back to this meeting that Mr. Khosrowshahi, the new CEO of Uber, had with the staff and former CEO Travis Kalanick. So what will he do for drivers? What is he going to do for drivers? Okay, well, we are moving into the 4th month of the 180 days of change. This is a 6-month program specifically to help drivers. This was not a passenger-centric program. This was not an app improvement, IT issue or tech issue. This was specifically a 6-month program to help drivers. And a lot of you guys echoed this, is Uber has really been in the upswing, slowly at times, to help drivers. The past 3 months, we've seen actual, tangible, real improvements that are going to help us on the road. So here is our recap. This is what you guys have experienced within the app in the last 3 months, and more to come. Recap for you guys, June, we finally had in-app tipping. If you're watching this in the rebroadcast, I will link above to the video where we talk about in-app tipping. Huge, guys, huge for Uber. We have not had in-app tipping for years. They've never had it. They've always stated that they didn't want it. Travis Kalanick specifically didn't want in-app tipping, and there was no reason to not have it, right? It was probably very easy to add into the app. It helps the drivers. Passengers kind of would like a way to easily tip and not have to carry cash. And that was June. It was a fantastic improvement, and drivers are easily earning more money because of it. July, support enhancements. We got 24/7 support, and that was phone support. And guys, I'm going to look right now. Oh, I need to update some documents, honestly, in the Uber app, so I can't check right now as we're moving markets. But if you go into your app, if you go into your accounts tab, I believe, and there should be a phone, okay, just kind of a phone icon in the upper right, and you should be able to click it, and you can call Uber for help issues. You can actually call on phone support where this is, active, and you have 24/7 support now. Secondly, you have ratings protection. As we've discussed, guys, if a passenger rates you low, and it's for something that's out of your control, Uber will help you out. Uber will say, hey, we saw that you got a lower rating, and the passenger, they did give a reason. They said that it was because of the surge, okay? They said it was because of traffic. Well, can you control the traffic, and do you control the surge algorithm? You have nothing to do with either of those. So Uber said, okay, well, since you have nothing to do with it, it's not a reflection of your driving service, we'll protect you from that. And we'll remove that. We will not take that into consideration for your ratings. Next. Now, you get paid for lost items. Okay? In the past, and you can see here, guys, we're still in July, if a passenger left an item behind, a purse, a wallet, a phone, what would you have to do to return it? Okay? Where's the incentive to return it? Now, of course, you always should, but you can only really return it to a green light help location, or just report it within the app and maybe set it up with a passenger at a later point in time. Or some passengers would want it back immediately and request that you drive back to them in the middle of a potentially high surge or busy time, right? So there's not much incentive to do so. And we've talked about this on the channel about how to do this. Now you get $15 for returning lost items. And this was announced to passengers as well. Guys, you're going to get charged $15 to have a driver return your lost items. Now, it's my understanding if you return these items to a green light help location, okay, an Uber help center, you will not get the $15, as the passenger will be forced to basically drive and get it. But if you return it, make sure you report it in the app, but you will get $15 for that time invested, as you should. Additionally, in July, we had faster document review, something that kind of went under the radar maybe. But if you have expired documents, if you have documents you submitted to Uber, you can get on the road faster. And Uber and their team will review your documents typically within, I believe it was 2 hours. That's fast. 2 hours now, you can get your documents reviewed and you can get on the road. next. Hey guys, by the way, we have 9 people in here. I really want to thank you for joining this live stream. Right now, can you take a quick timeout and leave a like on the live stream, guys? I'd really appreciate it. Shows me that you guys get value in this live stream, gets more people in here, gets more eyes on the channel, more people on the Your Driver team, and of course boosts us in YouTube's almighty algorithm. I really appreciate it, guys. Quick timeout and leave a really fast like on the live stream. I really appreciate it. Also in July, guys, in-app, Uber has quick fare fixes, where if there was a fare that started or stopped at the wrong location, okay, and maybe a passenger had a certain location in the app, and for whatever reason, it did not finish correctly, the ride didn't end at a correct point in time, you can have reviews within the Uber app. You want to go in your trip history. You want to request a trip revision. These will be done much faster now. So you can get paid and you don't have to worry about having an open, requisition with Uber support, which could take, a day or more. Guys, August, last month, most recently, your driver destinations got bumped up from 2 to 6. And on those driver destinations, you can now add arrival times. So as we mentioned, guys, if your destination is home, right, you're driving a busy area, or if you're pretty far from home, if you need to be back at 5 p.m. for a certain reason, you can say in the Uber app, hey, I need to be back at 5 p.m. Can you make sure I'm back at 5 p.m.? So Uber will, of course, try to get you rides in that direction, but they'll also make it where, if a ride is 30, 20 minutes, they'll make sure that that corresponds with when you'll get back, and you won't get an exceptionally long ride that'll carry you past 5 p.m., okay? Because before, Uber would say, well, hey, we're taking you home, but this passenger wants this really long ride, but, you're still going to get home, but you'll just get home whenever, okay? Now, you can put, I need to be home at 5. Speaking of long trips, you now have long trip notifications, rides longer than 45 minutes. You now get a heads up in the Uber app, which is nice, guys. Hey, Good Boog Enterprises says, I'm glad they increased the amount of trips in the destination filter. I use this often and it works pretty well for me, a lot fewer dead miles. Thanks for contributing. Thanks for adding that. And it really does make sense, guys. Before you had 2. You had 2, and hey, guys, you guys on the road, if you're driving full time, you're going to be out there for 6, 7, 8, 9 or more hours. 2 destination filters. That's not going to cover, before lunchtime, right? If you're moved out of a strategic zone, you want to get back into that zone, you may use a destination filter. If you do come home for lunch, you want to use a destination filter, okay? If you're trying to go to a very high surge area, let's say it's going to surge in an hour, you may put that as a destination filter and put an arrival time too as well now. Before you just had 2. And it doesn't really hurt to add more because it's going to make it more seamless for drivers. Anything that's going to help us is going to make it easier for drivers, and it's going to make me and you feel happier on the road, right? Provide better service to customers. Customers are going to enjoy using the Uber platform more, and you can see how it helps every part of the cycle. So, good improvement, as Good Boog mentions. Okay, guys. Also, last month, trip type preferences. If your car qualifies for, let's say, Select, Uber XL, and of course, Uber X, you can now opt out of certain, we'll say types, obviously. You can opt out of different types on the platform. So if you are driving those high demand areas, if you just want to drive the highest rates, which why not, you can opt and say, hey, I just want to take a Select ride right now. If you're driving a football game, right, and there's, easy 3,000 people that need a ride. If we have a stadium that seats 75,000, 1 to 3,000 people may need a ride, okay? And chances are, some of those are going to be Select, right? A smaller proportion, but someone's going to need a Select ride based on the clientele, based on the simple law of averages. So you're going to say, hey, I just want to take Select rides because it's surging high on Select and I can make more money that way. So that's a good reason to use trip type preferences. So I want to ask you guys, what is September going to look like? You know, what's September going to bring? We know Mr. Khosrowshahi has the first month here coming up for him. So what is the next improvement for drivers? What is September going to bring? And guys, we only got, let's check here, 1, 2, 3. You have about 2.5 to 3 weeks until this happens here. Let's catch up with you guys. What do you think, guys? What do you think? What's September going to bring? Because we saw June, July, August. Mr. Khosrowshahi started Tuesday of this week, and he's already got to spearhead the September improvement for the 180 Days of Change program. So he's got 2.5 weeks to 3 weeks to announce this. Okay, Uber has typically been doing this. If not in the last week, they've been doing it in the second to last week of the month. So that's going to hit around, I'd say, the 20th to the 27th is probably when you should expect this for September. Now, of course, the team at Uber has probably already been working on it, and I would imagine they probably have most everything decided already for the entire program. You know, I would imagine. But with his leadership, I'm wondering if he's going to want to look at that, if he's going to want to add to it, enhance it, change it. What do you guys think? What is September going to bring for this? The next improvement for drivers. I'm really curious, guys. And hey, let me hear your thoughts because I'm going to give you my thoughts in just a moment here, guys. What is September going to bring? Let me hear your ideas. Obviously, we hope it's pay related, right? We do hope it's pay related. But what else could it be? Hey guys, while I give you a minute for that, and please leave your comments below. Guys, if you're watching in the rebroadcast too, feel free. Leave your comments in the comments section. I get back to most every single comment. I read it personally and give you actual personalized feedback, no generic answers. So if you're watching the rebroadcast, feel free, absolutely. So guys, yes, while you're doing that, please let me know what you think September is going to bring for the 180 Days of Change. I want to give you guys a heads up. Guys, we only have 6 days left, maybe 6 days, for your Driver Mike 1,000 subscriber giveaway. There's like 5 or 6 days left. There's not a lot of time left for this. For a giveaway for you, we're giving away a Van True N2 Pro dash cam, which is an HD 1080p dual camera dash cam that I've been using in conjunction with my Falcon F360 dash cam. We're kind of pairing the two against each other. And I think I can even grab it for you right now, guys. One sec. Because you need to see this. So what this is, there we go. Guys, only 5 or 6 days left. For this, guys, you can win this Van True dash cam, the N2 Pro. If you use the front lens by itself, it's capable of 1440p. That is almost 4K resolution. So, if you want a chance at winning this dash camera, check the links below. Make sure you enter. There's multiple ways to enter, and you can enter basically every day as there are different means of entry. So make sure to get your name in there. Guys, we have more people joining here. Really appreciate it, guys. Let's catch up. Hey, JF Kansas, thanks for joining again. JF Kansas, I believe we were talking on the cross-country live stream, if I remember correctly. Yeah, JF Kansas brings up a really good point. Turn surge back on. And guys, if you're not driving for Lyft as well, make sure to do so. If you're not driving for Uber, make sure to do so. Drive for both, even if you're not fans of either company. If you want to run your business for the most profit, I would drive for both. Because you don't have to drive for Uber. You don't have to drive for Lyft because the other one may be more profitable. Surge, prime time, and you never know. You never know what you're missing out on. So I would sign up for both and drive for both if you can. Okay, guys. Sleeping Elephant, I don't agree with equality. It goes against individualism and clashes against excellence. Diversity attracts the lunatic social justice warriors. I like to always be hustling value. With regards to what specifically about the equality? Employees, drivers. Silver Hammer, Uber has created good programs lately. However, they still stubbornly refuse to raise rates, which is the main reason that everyone has asked repeatedly to be changed. And guys, spoiler alert, not really, One of my suggestions for the September, October, November change, is along the lines of that. Jimmy, hey Mike, hey Jimmy, thanks for joining from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Jimmy, always nice to have you on here. Jeff, Kansas, who did your hair? Very important question, guys. Is it messy or is it not messy? I know I look a little bit tired, but here, let's fix that a little bit. There we go. Well, guys, in Pittsburgh, we had a phenomenal place called Mr. Grooming and Goods. Fantastic shop in Pittsburgh, guys. If you live in Pittsburgh and you need a good haircut, go to Mr. Grooming and Goods. Here in San Diego, we went to Dapper J's, a really chill place. Good guys there. And they gave us our nice clean cut for the office and for here, of course. Rudy. Most passengers don't realize we get 9 cents a minute waiting time. Picked up a passenger that was in daycare, 15 minutes. Rudy, I absolutely agree with you. Wait time is the worst. I hate waiting. Guys, if your market has a cancellation rate, take it. Somebody asked me, well, what do you do if a pickup destination is in the wrong area and it's almost 10 minutes away? Do you go get them? No, I probably wouldn't. Passengers need to correctly enter the pickup destination. When they open their app, it simply says where to, okay? They'll enter their ending destination, and their starting destination is based on their GPS or based on what they enter for the starting destination. So I would minimize the dead miles, and I would not invest in driving to a new pickup. Get a cancellation fee if you can after 5 minutes. Rudy, after 5 minutes, I would cancel anywhere. After 5 minutes, I would cancel. If your market has a cancellation rate, that's minimum, guys. And that's something I'm going to add. I didn't put that in the next slide here, but that's something I'm going to add. Every market should have a cancellation rate. And I don't know if that's changed, but to my last understanding is not every market had a cancellation rate. There should absolutely always be a cancellation rate. And I'm not talking about the in-transit cancellation, because guys, remember, if you're driving to your passenger, after 2 minutes, if they cancel, and you've been driving for 2 minutes, you'll get a cancellation rate now. In the past, you would not get that, but now you'll get that after 2 minutes of in-transit time, and then once you get there, you'll have the traditional 5 minutes, and then you can cancel. But every market should have a cancellation rate. You're investing that time, the miles, at least you should get a cancellation rate. Sleeping Elephant, Uber's new true value menu. They added equality, collaboration, high fives, and sharing a break. Okay, I may not be picking up on the satire there. Hey, JF Kansas, looks like went to Naval Base. Looks like went to Naval. Oh, my haircut. Yeah, the barber at the place here in San Diego asked if I was in the military. We would typically kind of do a quick buzz cut, but we did kind of a mid-level fade to give it a little bit of style. rather than just a buzz cut. I know no one cares about the haircut, but I'm answering JF Kansas. Sleeping Elephant, I canceled 3 times yesterday. Guys, yeah, if it's 5 minutes, if they're not there, cancel. I mean, simple as that. If they're not there, now here's the thing, we talked about this maybe in some other videos. If it's surging high, I'll wait, because obviously it's surging high, and surge demand may be dropping, right? And you got a 3.5, maybe a crazy 4.0, and you know it's going to drop. So I'll hang on to that ride for dear life. I will call and I will text because that ride is going to be pretty profitable, okay? At the very least, I want to get something at a 4x for all that time that I invested. Within reason, I would never wait longer than 10 minutes, I would say. Rudy was a one-stop trip. Okay, for the 15-minute wait time. Yeah, guys, the wait times, the stops especially, right? Pit stops. I had I remember one passenger took me to a rural area for a neighborhood or whatever, and he wanted to stop at a 7-Eleven. So in we go. He's talking to the cashier. He's ordering a pizza. He's waiting for the pizza. I'm sitting there waiting as well, which was after 2 a.m., which completely took away any chance of doubling up on a fare, to try to get back to the bar area. So that was gone. So the wait times really hurt, yeah. And for drive-throughs as well, guys, you can tell passengers, guys, I don't get paid a lot to wait. Unfortunately, I do need to get back to the bar areas and get another passenger. Would it be okay if we don't do the drive-through? Or you can be even more assertive, guys. You can say, sorry, I can't do a drive-through run, guys. I don't get paid much for wait time. That's up to you, of course. Good Boog Enterprises. We have cancellation in Dallas, Fort Worth. That's good. Yeah, every market should have cancellation rate. $5 cancellation. And I believe someone mentioned, well, no. It was, I think, a $10 cancellation rate for scheduled rides. That may be on Lyft, that may be on Uber. I can't remember, but it was $10 on a scheduled ride, I believe, which again is more fair, right? Especially for a scheduled ride. Understandably, plans change. I definitely get that. Okay, so, and hey, anything else for the 180 days of change for September? Let me know in the comments below if you're watching the rebroadcast, or in the live chat right now if you're watching this live. Let me know what you think September is going to bring. So, what is it going to bring, guys? Okay, here are my predictions for, this is general. Some of this may be for September, maybe October, maybe November, but this is a general prediction of what the new team under Khosrow Shahi is going to do. Some of these are more kind of ambitious. Some of these are more reasonable that I think will happen. So let's go over this. Firstly, something that I think is definitely going to happen on the Uber platform is more transparency. What does that mean? Less fine print for promos, for boost, for quests, whatever it is. I mean, we knew that it was, okay, maintain a 90% acceptance rate. Take, X amount of rides, do this and that. There's seemingly always changing, always, some fine print or some kind of stipulations for promos, for boost, for quests. And it would lead a lot of drivers to missing out on these guarantees or these promos, right? One thing that I think should change, and I believe it may be on the Lyft platform, and no, guys, I think it may have been on Uber. Somebody correct me here, but I think it was on Uber, was when they would have boost. They would show you the boost zones on the map that were not active. And I could not believe this. And I'm pretty sure now it was Uber. Uber would show you boost zones outlined on the map with a 2.0 or something, and it was not active. Why? Because it wasn't the right time. You'd be in the boost zone, you say, oh, this is great, I'm getting the 2.0 boost, and you wouldn't get it because it actually didn't start until 11 p.m. Okay, why would they show it? Why would they show it from 10 to 11? maybe to mislead drivers. Don't show the outline for the boost zone when it's not active. And it confused me as well. And I remember I was in a boost zone thinking I would get boost, and it was just a, kind of the shadow boost zone. It wasn't live. That needs to go away. Any fine print about promos and stuff, it should be cut and dry. I should be able to read it right in the app. I should not have to go online. I should not have to click through emails. Promos, boost, whatever, should be stated black and white in the app in one paragraph. And that's it. M. Silver Hammer. When you look at everything that Uber has changed or added in the last few months, you also come to the realization of just how bad a CEO Travis Kalanick was since the beginning. Yeah, I definitely cautiously agree with that. And I say that because I'm sure Travis did a lot to grow Uber, to somewhat help drivers in the beginning because rates were pretty high. But I don't know, what was the actual incentive for that? Were high rates just to, secure drivers? Remember, they had that manipulative marketing saying that drivers earn on average $90,000 a year. And that was just wrong, and they had to apologize and remove that messaging, okay? So I'm sure Kalanick and the team and his team did some things to help drivers. But yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, M. Silverhammer in the long run, it tapered off. It went slowly and slowly, less and less and less benefit to drivers. And kind of even to passengers. It was kind of more of okay, let's ramp up this system for profits in general for the company versus helping passengers or especially, as we know, drivers. And yeah, just one more point about that. The improvements that have happened in the last months really, they have helped the drivers. And we still have 2 more months of improvements for drivers, plus new leadership. So I am very encouraged of what's happened in the past couple months and what's going to be happening going forward. Hey, Jimmy, do you think they should put a discrete panic button on Uber that will alert help to you for safety? I get what you're saying. Yeah, should they add a discrete panic button on Uber? I don't know if it's going to be popular, but I don't think they should. I don't. The prevalence of safety issues on Uber is so small. I understand. Well, what about this that happened? What about this? A driver over here, this, I know. I completely understand that. I know there's articles that come out almost weekly, probably less, probably less. And I check, guys. I check almost every day the news about the company. And in that, typically I will see if there's any incidents on the road, okay, safety-wise. There's not that many. Uber gives, millions of rides at a time. And just the statistics alone, I don't think it merits having a panic button. Issues where there are safety concerns, the fastest response you can get is 911. That's gonna dial your local emergency response team. It's gonna be police. It's gonna be ambulance locally. Okay, if you hit a panic button on Uber, what will it do? Will it contact Uber? Nothing is faster. Nothing is going to help in that situation faster than 911. That is your local police. If you need help for a safety issue or an accident, you need the police or an ambulance. You don't necessarily need the rideshare company. And the only thing that I could see that doing was maybe dialing for you. I don't know. So we could talk about that. If you're unable to dial 911, maybe you could just hit a button. I don't know. I'm open to hearing more about that, of course. Sleeping Elephant, they are going to upgrade Uber Pool in some way. Yes, I think they will. I think scheduled rides are going to be transparent or used to reward drivers. Sleeping Elephant, thanks for adding that. And there's a few points that I definitely thought about and agree with as well there. M. Silverhammer, recent changes should have been available since day one, and Travis Kalanick obviously needed the drivers, but obviously did not like them. Very true. That right there, you needed the drivers, but he did not like them. And he famously stated that too. Rudy, I get confused also. Sometimes boost is delivery only. Absolutely. Let's repeat that. Rudy says, I get confused because sometimes boost is for delivery only. And guys, I'm going to tell you something that Pittsburgh drivers noticed, and that I noticed as well, is when we would have a boost incentive, it may say for Uber X, Uber XL, Uber Select, and Uber Eats, only, or whatever. This applies to these types. And then mysteriously, it disappeared. And drivers have screenshots where the next day they'll say, hey, I got no boost on my rides. And they wrote into support, and Uber said this was only for Uber Eats. And they said, what are you talking about? You said this was for everybody. And they would send screenshots. Okay, like, look, you said Uber X, Uber XL, and Uber said, no, that's an error. No, this was for Uber Eats only. Very, I don't know what the word is for that, guys. Yeah, I mean, I hope we could chalk that up to an error, but I think that may be a smaller circumstance, but maybe not. Hey, I don't know. If you've seen boost change day to day, let me know, and take screenshots. If you guys are under any promos, take screenshots. Hey, Eric, thanks for joining. What's up, Mike, Phoenix, Arizona? Hey, thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Eric, if you have if you have OnStar, you can use that absolutely. Yeah. Eric says if you have OnStar, you can use that as well. I believe there is an emergency button on OnStar as well. That's a good point. M. Silverhammer, something nobody mentioned, you cannot opt out of pool. Yes, if you are an Uber X driver. Very good point. Yeah, guys, you cannot opt out of Uber pool. And from my understanding, something that Uber never got back to me about is on the trip type preferences that we talked about earlier, you cannot opt out of Uber pool there either. And I'm checking something right now. Okay, guys, I messaged Uber directly on Twitter June 28th about that very issue. I said, regarding the new trip type preferences, does this block all requests other than trips that drivers indicate they want to take, or does it simply indicate a preference for certain rides? Additionally, is Uber pool included? Okay, they did respond back and said that, yeah, it blocks any other rides that you don't want to take. If you don't want to take Uber X and you're an Uber XL driver, it will give you just those Uber XL rides. They didn't mention pool, though. They didn't mention pool, and I can dig back in my emails. But yeah, I didn't think you could opt out of Uber pool. So, okay, so let's go back to this the My Prediction screen that you guys are viewing right now. I'm thinking that with Uber pool, and hey, one of you guys, I think Sleeping Elephant, you mentioned something like this. Uber pool is going to equal Uber X fares. It's going to mirror Lyft lines specifically. If you remember a couple months ago, Lyft made all Lyft line rides equal in pay to traditional Lyft rides. So going forward, I believe that Uber is going to match Uber pool to traditional Uber X. So the only difference is the logistics. Instead of having a start and stop, A to B, you may have an A to B to C to D when you're picking up your passengers for pool. Well, I guess it would just be A to B. No, it would be if you're picking up someone else, and then they have their one-stop destination. But I think rates will be the same. The only thing that's going to change is the logistics. Now you have two groups to drop off instead of the one. Next, guys, I think there's going to be more monetary incentives, and I don't know if anyone's really thought about it. Well, not thought about, talked about this. I think Mr. Khosrow Shahi and his team, I think the Uber team, may create more monetary incentives for drivers. Not Boost, not Surge, not Quest. I know it's kind of, the same thing rebranded almost. There's definitely differences. But I think they may come up with more fun monetary incentives. And I say fun because I think it's going to be maybe more contests. Okay? I know in local markets, local teams are in charge of creating their own contests, if they want. And the Uber Pittsburgh market would create giveaways, cash giveaways, raffles. That kind of tapered off a little bit in the last year, but I think we may see some new programs to incentivize drivers with pay. Moving on, guys, they may recognize tenured drivers, more experienced drivers. Hey, guys, I see you guys are here. Let's jump off of that real quick here, guys, because you guys are blowing up the comment section. I'm going to catch up with you guys. Okay, let's see. M. Silver Hammer. What do you think of this? Insert descriptive adjective here. Guy Uberman's unsubstantiated. There we go, guys. That's the word of the day that I'm going to practice. Unsubstantiated. Oh, we're waiting for the coffee to kick in. It's getting there slowly. It's not your Driver Mike live stream unless I mess up at least 3 words. That's the goal, guys. Unsubstantiated, compensated, and biased claims that Uber drivers who use Maestro will earn 30% more or more. Sorry. We've talked about Maestro a little bit, okay? And I've watched Randy's videos. I've been watching Randy for at least probably 2 years now. It's tricky because, as a creator myself, as a YouTube creator is what they call it, we want to partner with companies that we believe in the product, okay? This is a business for us. Obviously, we get, revenues from YouTube and from sponsored deals. Randy did sign on as an actual employee with Maestro. So he definitely believes in the product, okay? So there's 2 sides of it. It's, it's believing in your product. It's promoting the benefits of your product. And then it's, trying to recruit and, get interest for your product. And, I do that with Cargo. And give you guys a heads up, I don't get paid any sponsorship money from Cargo. It's just a product that I believe in, that I use, and that I want some of you guys to use because I think it can be profitable once it really starts expanding. But I don't get any, hey, here's a X amount of dollars sign-on bonus to promote us. No. So yeah, it's a fine line to walk as a sponsored creator, okay? Because obviously it's going to be biased, and creators like Casey Neistat, who has millions of subscribers, does a good job at giving viewers a heads up. Said, hey, this is a 100% biased, completely biased. The review that I'm going to do right now is absolutely biased. I partner with Samsung, so I just want to let you know this is a completely biased, and he flashes it all over the screen because he wants to give everyone a complete heads up and be transparent that, hey, I'm getting paid for this review, so obviously it's going to have a little bit of a twinge of bias. So I have not used Maestro. I don't want to use Maestro. I like using both apps manually. I think that there's some nuances to both apps that sometimes I do need to make a manual decision. Now, I know you can override things within Maestro, but I'm just comfortable using both apps. I know how both apps work, that I want to do it manually. That's just my method. And if somebody wants to use Maestro, that's fine. And I've seen some drivers said that they enjoy it. So whenever I do product reviews, okay, like this, here, let me get back on the screen here, like Vantru. I told you guys in the video, hey, I partnered with, if I can get it on the screen, I partnered with Vantru, okay? In the Falcon F360 video, I told you I did not partner with Falcon. That's just the dash cam that I wanted to use, and that it was a good dash cam. So if I do any reviews, I give you guys a heads up. I give you guys a heads up in the description as well. I let you know if it is a sponsored video, and I try to provide a neutral review of the product. And I'll tell you guys right now, and I'll tell any companies that are watching this right now, is if I get a product to review, if it sucks in a certain area, I'm going to say it kind of sucks, okay? Because, I mean, I don't want to pretend like, you know, this is the end-all, be-all dash cam, that this is so much better than every other dash cam out there, okay? And I've told you guys in the comment section that I still use my Falcon F360. Okay, I partnered with Vantrue, but I like my Falcon F360. You know, and I like it because it provides, you know, it integrates with your rear view mirror. So, you know, I don't want to get too much more into sponsored videos. We could go on and on for that, obviously. But yeah, transparency is important. And when you lose transparency, when you lose some kind of realness, then it can come across as fake. I don't have a problem with Randy's videos per se. You know, I just want to make sure that, you know, anyone doing a sponsored video is neutral and as transparent as possible. Yeah. Hey, Sleeping Elephant, my quests don't require an acceptance rate. I choose my trips and achieve the required trips completed. That's great. Guys, yeah, we didn't get a lot of quests in Pittsburgh. We got like 2, you know. And it's an earnings guarantee. That's all it is. Again, Uber has done some things that they just rebrand. And this is one of those things where it's basically an earnings guarantee. It's a, hey, do 30 rides this week or something like that. We'll give you an extra X amount of dollars and, you know, maintain a certain acceptance rate. As you can see, Sleeping Elephant didn't have a required acceptance rate, which is ideal. Now, sometimes they won't require an acceptance rate, but they're sneaky about it, and they'll say you have to stay online. You have to be online 50 minutes out of every hour. So that can go into it as well. That can ensure that you're on the Uber platform. I believe that they would require acceptance rates when you did that, though. You know, because if they didn't, then you could just ignore. You could be online but ignore rides. M Silver Hammer, not a fan of Uberman selling style. Yeah. Well, guys, you can see that. Yeah, if somebody doesn't trust your messaging in a video, then they're not going to trust, you know, reviews to be neutral, I guess. M Silver Hammer, since Maestro filters and reduces ride requests, I can't see mathematically how you make 30% more when accepting less rides. BS paid promoters. Yeah, the only thing I can think of is that, you know, since you're only accepting the rides that you take, which is presumably, you know, just surge and primetime rides, you can make more money that way versus if you didn't filter your requests and you just took everything, you know, if you took base fare. But of course, you know, it doesn't surge all the time. So, I mean, you can have a filter on, yeah, but it doesn't surge. Hey guys, what is it doing right now in La Mesa? You want to check it out? It's not doing much. Hey, here's where we're at. Nothing right now. And that's the thing. You know, if I was using Maestro and I was filtering and I said I only want to take a 200% ride, if you guys drive the airport, here's what we have in the San Diego International Airport to give you guys an idea. It's 11 a.m. right now. We got about 20 minutes. We got about 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, guys. Hey, Ron joined the live stream. Ron, how's it going? What's up, Mike? Always good to have you. I'm glad you could hop on here. Ron, we got about 15 or 20 minutes. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. So yeah, if you filter rides on Maestro, if you have, you know, if I want to take a 200%, but it's obviously not, there's no prime time right now, it doesn't really matter. All right, guys. So today, hey guys, if you're just joining, we're talking about Uber 2.0 right now. We have a new CEO, former Expedia CEO, Dara Khosrowshahi, who just started on Tuesday. His first day was this week. And we're talking about what improvements have already happened on Uber, what improvements are most recent, and what is going to happen going forward under Khosrowshahi and his team. So guys, we're talking about my predictions. Hey guys, another quick timeout. Real quick timeout again. If you can leave a like on this live stream. I know some people have jumped in and out, so if you're new to this live stream, if you haven't done so already, can you please leave a like super fast? Shows me that you guys get value from this live stream, gets more people in here, more people on the Your Driver team, and of course, boost us in YouTube's almighty algorithm. Let's do that. Let's make YouTube happy. And let's tell YouTube, hey, this channel is a pretty good channel because people seem to like it. So if you could, leave a really quick thumbs up, guys. I'm trying to check. There we go. Hey, guys, we have 10 people in here. That's awesome. Really appreciate it. It's been a little bit since we've done a live stream here. And again, it's going to be every Saturday, I believe 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And hit the bell notification as well, because I'm not sure if that's the best time for everybody, but I think that's what we're going to do. So if you haven't done so already, when you do subscribe, hit the bell notification icon. With YouTube's really fun algorithm, it doesn't push all content to subscribers unless you hit that bell notification. That'll let you know when I go live, when I post videos, so you can be one of the first to check it out. I really appreciate it, guys. Also, lastly, super chats are always appreciated. If you want to show your extra special appreciation for the channel, consider sending a super chat. And we have a lot of other fun links below in the description for you to check out. I don't want to talk about every single program under the sun, so I'll let you check out those programs in the links below. All right, guys, let's go back into it. So we're thinking, will Uber recognize in some way tenured drivers? Drivers that have a lot of rides under their belt. There we go. Taking a little coffee break here, just 1 sec. All right, guys. So, Lyft, we know Lyft did the Lyft jacket at, I think, 1,000 rides. Lyft gave drivers a Lyft jacket. Yeah, I'm just going to say it, guys. Uber needs to do something. Uber needs to do something to recognize tenured drivers. Drivers that have been on the platform for a long time, especially drivers that have driven a ton of rides. I mean, just on the spectrum of numbers, there's not going to be a ton of drivers that have been on the platform for 5 years, 4 years, who have done 5,000 or more, even rare 10,000, 20,000 rides. You know, there's not going to be a ton of drivers that fall under the 10K and 20K rides. You need to recognize those drivers. And because those guys and gals are most likely full-time drivers. And they are on the platform probably at least 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. And in the past, guys, this needs to be changed. In the past, Uber would say, hey, congratulations, you've done 10,000 rides. And that's it. That is it. Uber in the app would say, you've just completed your 10,000th, there we go, I can't talk today. You completed 10,000 rides. Congratulations. It is because of drivers like you that make the Uber platform so easy to use for passengers. Continue what you're doing. Continue being a great driver on the Uber platform. No, that's basically an email. It's basically an email in the app, and there's nothing else. Uber needs to do something for merchandise, for, honestly, I mean, of course, monetary incentives. You should get a bonus. You should get a bonus at 5,000, 10, you should, all right, it should be 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, maybe 15, but if not 20,000, and then increase it from there. This is standard practice in the workplace, guys. You work for a corporate company, a larger company, every company does this for tenured employees. Employees get raises. They get additional vacation days for being a tenured employee. Okay? For my last company, it was 5 years. If you were with a company for 5 years, you would get additional vacation days. Then 10 years, 15, 20, it would go up, sequentially. Uber needs to do something like this because, I mean, the tenured drivers that have done so many rides, needs something. You should give drivers useful merchandise, maybe. And I know, people are going to say, well, why is it? I don't want to wear Uber merchandise. I mean, we have to consider it from Uber's perspective too. They're going to be like, well, if we're going to give away free stuff, we want it at least to be branded stuff, So that makes sense. They're probably going to do branded stuff, but at least give drivers something really nice. And firstly, make it bonuses, make it monetary bonuses before the merchandise. Okay, the merchandise is bonus. I would love a nice, Uber jacket, real quality, guys. I'm not talking about the cheap corporate gift quality, like actual nice quality. But firstly, I want a bonus. Firstly, we should get cash bonuses for hitting a certain threshold. Okay. What do you think? I get really excited about that because they should do that. I mean, there's not a lot of drivers that have done 10,000, 20,000, maybe 30,000 rides. There's not. Okay. Hey Ron, what's going on with the earnings tab? Harder to cash out and a few more tabs to see the trip history. Guys, speaking of transparency, I'm going to be completely transparent with you. I'm in the process of moving my license and registration and insurance from Pittsburgh to San Diego. I got a, what is it called? Appointment with the DMV coming up here soon. So I can't drive right now on Uber. I can drive with Lyft. But I want to make sure that I get the, I get the plates changed. I get the license changed. So I can't see the Uber earnings tab now because Uber locked me out. I would love to see it, but yeah, that's gonna be changing soon. I just gotta get everything moved over. Sleeping Elephant. I would like health insurance. Only insurance I care about. Yeah, that's true. That's definitely a good benefit, guys. With health insurance, would that make us employees though? As independent contractors, I'm not sure how that would work. Honestly, I don't. I don't know if that's a stipulation of employees. Oh, V the driver. Hey V, thanks for commenting. Thanks for joining. V just answered my question. Sleeping Elephant health insurance is for employees. Do you want to be an independent contractor or employee? Can't have it both ways. Hey, thanks for contributing. Ron, yep. Prepaid Visa cards even. Sure, I'll take it. Good Boog Enterprises. Yes, bonuses would be great. Jimmy from Pittsburgh. I just hit 1,000 this week. Congratulations, Jimmy. That's awesome. Congrats. V the driver. Cash bonuses would be great. Sleeping Elephant. V the driver. That can change for health insurance. I don't want to be an employee. That there can be compromises. Yeah, I mean for that legally, I don't know. That legal realm of what that would entail. Guys, only 10 minutes here. We're going to wrap up shortly. Yeah, I mean, thinking about it, I mean, literally, they probably can't do cash bonuses because, that has to be, well, maybe they could because it has to be reported, as earnings for the IRS. Uber could list that under your 1099 MISC. Yeah, it's probably going to be under the 1099 MISC, which is for any kind of bonuses, sign-on bonuses, incentives. So they may list it there. As long as the earnings are reported legally, Uber is going to do it the right way. I'll tell you that. They're going to do it legally the right way. Bonuses, sure. Bonuses for tenured drivers. If we're out here driving, putting in the work, and I get it though. I get it, numbers-wise, maybe they don't have the cash flow to do that. But if they sat down and looked at their actual statistics, how many drivers do you really have that hit 10,000 and 20,000? And I'm not talking about a huge bonus for drivers at 1,000 or 5,000. You can't offer a big bonus for 1,000. I don't even want to give a number. But okay, we got to motor through here, guys. Lastly, rate increases. Obviously, guys, increased rates, right? I'm thinking this is going to happen. I've been saying this for months. Since they started the 180 days of change, I was thinking this. I was hoping this, a lot of us are, is rate increases. Orlando, Oklahoma City, 65 cents a mile, can't happen. Way too low, can't happen, guys. What they may do is, and we've mentioned this as well, is a tiered increase. say, okay, hey, we're going to increase rates to 120 a mile everywhere. I mean, 150 would really be the magic, sweet spot. Anything higher would be exceptional, but I don't think that's going to happen. So again, 150 would be ideal. 120 is maybe smarter for the Uber, the Uber team. They're going to be like, oh, we don't want to do 150, but we can do 120. So they might do a tiered system. Okay, over the next few months, we're going to slowly increase rates to 120 or 150 a mile to reach 120 or 150 by January 1st of 2018. So they may say that. And their platform's still going to be fine. The platform's going to be fine. And you know what? Lyft has traditionally matched Uber with these changes. So Lyft may say, well, hey, if they're getting a bigger piece of the pie, profits-wise, we may do that too. We may raise rates as well. They have to be careful because, they cannot collude with each other. They can't reach out to each other and say, hey, we're going to raise rates, you can raise rates, and just agree to keep rates with us. They cannot do that legally, okay? But hopefully we see some raised rates here, guys. And let me know what you think here. I'm going to see what you guys are saying. Here, let's, I think you guys, I'm sorry if you're looking at that for too long, but let's catch up with you guys. Okay, V confirms that would be the 1099 MISC for the benefits there. Yeah, Ron, great question. Whatever happened to the Uber beacon? That would be a cool bonus. Yeah, the Uber beacon, guys. What that was an illuminated, color-changing Uber logo for the front of your car. And what that would do is it would change color corresponding to the color that the passenger would pick. Okay, Dan requests a ride. Dan chooses the color yellow. Upon pickup, your beacon would change to yellow in the front of your windshield during the pickup process. So Dan is looking for a yellow beacon specifically. So, if currently passengers just see a bunch of Uber trade dress in windshields. Now, of course, they're giving the make and the model of the car. They're giving everything. But not much is faster than visual authority, visual confirmation. So to be able to find the yellow beacon, it makes it a little bit easier, especially from afar. There's probably concerns of, red and blue colors, which would equate to emergency vehicles. So you may not be able to have that. State laws as well about having illuminated items in your windshield. I'm thinking that's an issue as well. Yeah, the beacon kind of disappeared. The beacon was being piloted maybe in Seattle. Wow, a year ago maybe, at least. Haven't heard too much of the Uber beacon. It was a pretty good idea. The Lyft did the same thing. The Spot, maybe? Or maybe it was Uber. Uber Spot? Somebody did it. But Lyft did have their own version as well, I believe. But haven't heard much from that. Yeah. V, the driver, mentions a good point. Yeah, rates would continue to vary by region, but an increase is well overdue. Yeah, and it kind of does need to vary by region because there's different populations and different regions. Drivers should get paid fairly. If you're in a slower market, maybe you should get paid more per mile because you don't have as much passenger pool to pull from. In New York City, for example, drivers have to have full commercial insurance, which is kind of expensive. That's why rates need to be higher in New York City, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, generally rates should be higher, absolutely. Yeah, Ron, well, the AMP wasn't, no, the AMP is. Yeah. See, the thing is, I don't have the AMP yet, so I'm trying to remember what the AMP actually does. And yeah, the AMP does have the, interior custom messaging, but it does change colors, doesn't it? I'm trying to remember now. It does change colors, and I think it does correspond with the passenger color of choice. Yeah, I think it does. See, I need one of those. Okay. M Silver Hammer. Here's a suggestion. Uber should offer higher rates to drivers who drive exclusively for them, or at least complete a minimum number of rides each week. That's a great idea. That's a good idea. Think about it. If drivers did commit to driving just for Uber, Uber probably would want to incentivize them to stay on just the Uber platform, to ensure that those drivers aren't driving for a competitor. But how would they track that though? Because they literally did track that with the hell mode, and they got in trouble for that, for tracking drivers who would drive on Lyft. So legally, I'm not sure how they would monitor that. I don't know. Yeah, Ron, thanks for that. Amps in the middle of the windshield seems more There's a second word, guys. One more. Amp is in the middle of the windshield. It seems more problematic than the beacon would. Yeah, the beacon was in that lower right-hand corner, guys. If you're the driver, if you're looking out, it was in the lower right-hand corner with the rest of your trade dress. Yeah, the amp does sit in the middle there. All right, guys, we need to wrap it up here soon in a second here. So, hey, guys, I just want to mention real quick, guys, as you know, we mentioned earlier in this video that I am excited to work with Cargo, not as a paid sponsor per se, but I do get revenues from new driver signups. And why do we talk about Cargo? Because you can maximize your profits and earn on average $150 to $300+ a month by selling from Cargo. We're starting our coaching videos, guys. And save those videos. We have an entire playlist about Cargo. And it's really going to be a great program. So if you haven't signed up already, check out the links below. It's a really, really great earnings program for drivers. I encourage you to sign up and to check out those videos about Cargo. All right, guys. That is about it for today. We're going to wrap it up here. Any final questions, thoughts, comments, concerns? Anything you would like to add? Hey guys, on your way out, please, again, if you haven't done so already, leave a like on the live stream. Shows me that you guys get value, etc., etc. Just leave a like on the live stream if you can on your way out here, guys. Let's see what you guys are saying here as we end up this live stream. Good Boog Enterprises. Great job, Mike. Look forward to the next live feed. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed the live stream. M Silverhammer, that's why I mentioned a minimum number of rides. Yeah, good point. Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for reminding me there. You did mention that. So that is a good point. If Uber wanted to ensure that you're just on the Uber platform, maybe a strong number of rides a week, whatever that is, I don't know, 100 a week would be over 10 a day. That sounds like a pretty solid day for just Uber, I mean, it depends on your market, of course, how busy your market would be. Any other final thoughts, guys? We covered a lot today. We covered a lot about a little bit of Uber's new CEO, former CEO of Expedia, Dara Khosrowshahi. We talked about the current 180 days of change with Uber, what past changes entailed and where it may go going forward. And we talked about some of my predictions as well as your predictions for changes on the Uber platform. Maybe we'll talk about Lyft a little bit more in the next one. Who knows? Oh, and by the way, if you do have any ideas for the next live stream next week, post them in the comments below. Let me know what you guys want to talk about. Ron, have a great day. I'll check out the rest on the replay. Thanks for that, Ron. We have a lot of good recent videos, strategy videos, earnings videos, coaching videos on Cargo, as well as some fun videos if you're feeling kind of chill and want to watch the cross-country drive. Check out those videos as well. Rudy, until next week. That's right, guys. We're going to wrap it up until next week. Make sure to hit that bell notification and join us here every Saturday, probably 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Let me know. And guys, also follow on Twitter. I post some more updates on Twitter if you're interested in being in the know. Follow me there at Your Driver Mike. And if you happen to use Snapchat, we are on Snapchat as well as Instagram. Everything on socials under Your Driver Mike. Guys, I hate going, guys. Come on. I hate going as always, but I want to thank you so much for joining this live stream. It went fast today, guys. An hour and a half, and it went fast today. But hey, I gotta get going, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and hey, I will see you guys next week. Have a good day, guys. See ya.